be going over the Nomanus Force Staff. I'm going to be checking out, seeing what this bad boy can do. Now, I threw us into the meat grinder real quick so we can just take a look at its damage profile and see how it does against heavily armored targets and flak armored targets, maniacs, etc. Just going to do a quick little look, see what we can get an idea of what this thing's capable of before we hop into a game. First reference, my Psyker is level 18. He is not my max level character. I have my Ogren's my max, and he's pretty much end game ready at this point. And you will probably see a video on him later down the road. Now let's, without further ado, let's just hop in here and see what this thing's capable of, and check it out. Now I would say, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what he can do. So I know there's a lot. So your first target. Oh, that's interesting. So there's the difference in armor right there. Even though he's my first target, he takes significantly less damage. Even though he's, I think he's just carapace. The carapace armor head of his helps reduce his damage. Oh my goodness! Look at that. What happened to him? Holy crap! That is a bad day. Oh my. I mean, actually, it's pretty cool though. I've never seen that before. Have you guys seen that before? That's pretty sweet. All right. Anyway. Yeah. I mean, as you would expect, it's lightning. It does a lot of damage. It's pretty good on hordes as well. I would say the only thing this staff is a lot more dangerous than the others, because if you're around 80 peril, it can like blow you up. So let's see if we can do that. If you fully charged. See that? I was 80, so you want to do it at about 75 is what I've learned from using the staff. Somewhere in the 70s, that way you're not going to get yourself killed. Because there's this weird oversample that happens. I don't know why it happens, but it is easier to blow yourself up with this staff than the other ones in my experience. So you're going to be using this, keep that F on cooldown, or off cooldown. So that way, if you need to, you can hit to save yourself. That's a little thing I mentioned in the last video. You can actually save yourself from death as the Psyker if you, let's just call it overclock. That's how I'm about to blow up, and then F. And it purges all that, purges all the peril. So that's a really, really good tool, especially when you're using this staff. I would say if you're running a head build or head pop build, you probably want to use a different staff. Just because of how much peril this thing builds up. But that is up to you. You know, I would say anything malice or lower, you can really get away with murder. So go to town. But see, now the interesting thing I found is this does a lot of damage to carapace targets. Not as much as a head pop, but a lot of damage. You see, it took 3 fully charged ones. Now, it'd be faster to just head pop him, right? Right, if it takes 2, right? But the thing about it is, with this staff, if you're being pushed by a horde, and then, you know, let's say he's in the middle of it, you shock him, you hit the horde, you hit the enemies in front of you, you can do a little spin, and you can kind of CC some of those enemies so you don't just have your hands out and you're getting beaten to death by the hordes of Nurgle. So, yeah, this staff performs surprisingly well. And I would definitely, I would say, I'll give my opinions after we try this thing out in the game, but I like it. All right, let's hop into some gameplay and see what things are really about in a real game. Alrighty, here we go. Let's get in here. Let's see what this thing can do. Also, I will say, I know some of you probably saw, oh, he's using a combat knife. Oh, gross. Why would you use that little piece of crap? There are some very notable upsides to the combat knife, especially for the Psyker and the or the veteran sharpshooter, rather. So the upsides for the knife, primarily that I can think of, are your dodges. You basically have, I think it's up to like 7 dodges or something like that, but you have a shit ton of dodges. As the veteran sharpshooter and the Psyker, you're the backline, so you don't need some big sword to cleave through everybody. You just need something to kill, you know, some you know, poxwalkers here and there, some scabs, whatever. But you're not doing, most of your damage and kills are coming from your ranged attacks. So you're not really focused on getting a bunch of melee kills, and that's what your character's built around as well, is long range, high damage attacks, right? Playing to your strengths in this game is the best way to succeed. If you're not, your gameplay's going to feel off. You're going to die a lot. You're not going to have a lot of success on high-level missions, right? So you got to play that role that you chose to play and that you've been assigned. I think primarily with the Psyker, I think you're responsible for Ogrins and carapace armor, things that are a lot harder for your teammates to get through. All right, I don't see any enemies. Oh, here's one. So also the dodge distance. Look at the dodge distance. That is significantly longer than any other melee that I've seen yet in the game. So definitely, if you're a backline like the Psyker or the veteran sharpshooter, go ahead and try out the combat knife. You might like it. You might find I'm right. See, look, that we killed him, chopped him up fine. Also, this knife has the best animations in the game. All right, where are these hordes at though? Oh, another nice thing about this, I do notice this sometimes can like glitch through cover, which is nice, especially because sometimes head pop will get bugged while you're trying to shoot it through cover. Like it won't let you do it. You see now here we can actually just look at them through the crack. Oh, see it bugged out. Head pop? Head pop? No, head pop bugged also. Yeah, I don't know why it is. I think there's some kind of verticality issue. All right, I'm gonna slash him up. Caught him up real nice. And he ran off. Look at that. We got him again. We're too fast for this guy. Hound's too slow. We really need a good horde to show this thing off. Whoa. All right. Also, I know you're wondering. Oh, special! Look at the special. So this is your combo starter. So you punch it. Oh well, apparently it doesn't. It's supposed to stagger them. Oh, that's weird. A little punch. It should stagger them, and then you can just hit a charge attack and aim at their head. This knife is all about weak points. You can hit really fast. So, and even the heavy attack charge is really quick as compared to the other weapons. Oh, here we go. This is what we want. Oh, we got a flamer. It's gonna be hard to see this. We're gonna just do our best we can here with the flamer in the way. So remember what I said, we're going to cleanse peril because we're sitting at 80. It turns back up. Just switch off your combat knife for a little bit, let the peril cool down. You can cleanse peril, but you know, it's all about efficiency, I feel like, with the Psyker. Like your peril cleanses itself pretty quickly when you just switch off and let it passively go down. So unless you really need a head pop, I wouldn't say it's really that important. So, of course, on higher levels, you will find yourself head popping almost all the time, and ideally at higher levels, you will have teammates who can protect you, and that way you don't have to worry about having it. If you want to have your melee out, I would recommend the Force Sword, as you can cleanse peril and keep your melee out with that weapon. It's, as far as I know, it's the only weapon in the game right now that can do it. Head pop them. All right, but yeah, let's talk about the staff a little bit more. So, I really like this staff, but there are some downsides. Range is okay. Range is okay, but it's not great, right? Upside, though, over the Brigadist staff that we talked about in the last video. This thing can actually use little long-range attacks, right? Little force bolts or whatever you want to call them. Psychic bolts, right? And that can actually help a lot, especially if you're high peril, you know, and you just like, as a sniper, somebody tickled, you just want to hit him one time, right? We're gonna pop this guy just because you got to be efficient, remember, like we talked about. Also, just for your point of reference, this is a level 3, I believe, low intensity. You'd be surprised though, I've got away with murder in this game in some ways, because I have completed some higher difficulty missions I probably should not have been able to do with a random group, but it's all about, like we've talked about so far a little bit in this video, playing to your role, playing to your role's strengths, right? If your job is to be a front line like the Zealot, you know, and just swing away with that melee, you gotta play to their strengths, right? But don't play like too much in this, right? Because I've noticed the big thing with Zealots is they like to stay at low health, but higher difficulties you can't really afford to do that, so don't fall into that trap. With a Zealot on one of my high difficulty runs, he was trying to do that, and he was the only one going down, and he's the only one who died on that run. Everybody else, you know, Ogren, right, huge hitbox, Psyker, and even, you know, Astronaut Storm, right, None of us went down, but a homie did. So you don't want to go too crazy with the whole, oh, I'm supposed to be low health all the time. No, you have perks actually that allow you to do a good amount of damage at any health and give you attack speed regardless. You still get 10% attack speed. So you guys want a build for the Zealot and maybe some philosophy discussion as far as just ease of use and what you should be looking for in terms of building him late game. I can do that in a video. Just let me know in the comments down below if that's something you guys want to see, because obviously gauging content, you know, I just want to go over the staffs. I feel like that's probably something not a lot of people know, because I haven't seen a lot of videos on them. I haven't seen any big ones. Oh, we found a Grimoire. That's my low health. Okay. I would say don't grab more than one Grimoire unless you're in pre-made. Unless you really need it, unless you need for like a weekly or something. In which case it's fine. I mean, this guy's really, yeah, he's killing everything with a Flamer. Flamer very strong, by the way. If you guys don't know. Flamer very, very strong. Very, very balanced weapon, I would say. It's pretty good at, it's very good at killing hordes and dealing with them. And then, sorry. And then, at the same time, it has a surprising amount of pen for armor. Like, those burn, it'll stack up that burn, and before you know it, that target is gone, right? Just melts them. Flesh right off the bones, right? So, very strong, and when it comes to later in the game, I think, I know a lot of people are attracted to the bolter, and it's nice, but I don't think a bolter is necessary if you have a Psyker in your squad. Because the high most of the specials were flak armor. Like 90% of them were flak armor, or they're maniacs or unarmored, right? So you only have a couple carapace armored enemies, and those are the ones that the bolter, I feel like, is really like noticeably better on than the other weapons. But you can run a las gun and kill like all the specials in the game, right? Because technically Ogryns aren't even special, or they're not even elites, right? They're specials. I keep mixing it up. So for those guys who don't know, there's this whole special elite thing in Vermintide, but I'm just gonna call the Ogryns Ogryns, just for the sake of our sanity. But yeah, the bolter is good, but low ammo, slow reload, all that stuff. Where's this guy at? Where's he at, huh? There we go. And I'm not saying the bolter is bad, by no means, but I am saying you're going to have to really struggle on higher difficulties. I think balancing that out as, like, let's say like the ranged guardsman, because then you're not going to have anything to kill the hordes with, right? Because ideally, like, you don't really, on higher difficulties, you don't really want to get too close to the hordes with your melee unless you have to, right? Unless you don't have any other choice, because you want to be in the back line, right? Everything about the class wants you to be behind your team, shooting from a long distance, right? So, I think while the bolter's fun and I know it's iconic, I'm a big 40k fan, have been for years. I don't think it's the most optimal gun on some certain classes, right? Like, I think the veteran sharpshooter has a lot of good options for range and carapace armor that isn't even the is not even the bolter, right? The Hellbore, or the Hellbore Las, I believe it's called. The Hellbore Las, the Deathkrieg's blast rifle, right? That thing. The heavy variant really chunks carapace, and with a headshot, you would do an absurd amount of damage, right? But no one really, because Fat Shark doesn't really have the stats in there, and people are just kind of figuring out. And let's be honest, most average Joes just want to play the game. They don't want to go in and test stuff. Nobody really knows that, so. But I would say, I think you'd be surprised by how effective some of the other weapons in this game are, other than the, like I said, again, the bolter is good. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that you're going to have to deal with that low ammo economy that the weapon has. So, man, this is just turning into an overall discussion video. Well, I mean, I feel like we've covered pretty much everything I want to cover about this staff, alright? It's a solid staff. Like, as you see, I'm just shocking away. Let's switch to my melee, right? Because an enemy's nearby, and I got to punch Pearl. I was sitting at 80%, and my skill was down, right? So, I'd say that's the biggest thing. Just be careful with the staff, because you will blow yourself up a lot. I did it a lot when I was first using it. And again, like, honestly, like, I feel like now's a good time. But if you guys have any videos you want to see, any content you want me to cover, let me know in the comments. If there's anything specific that you don't know about the game that you have questions about, right? Enemy types, maybe like who has what type of armor. That way you can, let's say, you know, hate a certain enemy type and it's your absolute kryptonite. You want to be able to deal with it and you don't know what to do, just let me know in the comments down below, and you know, maybe we can go over some of that stuff in more detail so you guys have a better understanding. If you guys want to go to crafting end game stuff, we can do that. Really, the sky's the limit. I'm working on leveling all my classes right now to 30. I'm getting pretty close, honestly. Ogren's sitting 30, and then we have the Psyker and the Zealot both sitting around 18 at this time. And then my veteran sharpshooter, I just started leveling, so he's only like level 6. But I will have them all maxed out and ready for end games. Hopefully in the next, I would say, week or two. I do have some life stuff that I've been working on, trying to deal with, but with any luck, I mean, it is holiday season, so, you know, there is that, but I plan on being a lot more active in my 40K content than I have been in the past. So keep an eye out for uploads more often. And I'm working on refining and polishing it. That's why you're going to hear this video probably sounds a little bit better. Maybe looks a little bit better. You know, it's going to have different things that last video didn't. Now we're going to head pop these guys. I don't think that Ogre has a slab shield, so we're going to just try to avoid this demon host. Especially because it's level 3, so we're just going to avoid that guy. I would say demon host, you want to kill him, take an Ogre with a slab shield. That's the most effective way. Otherwise, they're pretty deadly. Man, I get beat up. I'm not paying attention. Holy. Alright. You guys can thank your teammates, by the way, with the little spin wheels. I don't know if you guys know that. I just noticed it recently. I don't really use a ping system too often except for ping enemies, so. And so, I will say, guys, something I've noticed, and this is 100% worth the time to learn. Just learn the timings on those specials. Like the trapper, you can literally watch them shoot their trap, and when you see the trap in midair, just dodge, and it's gonna miss you every time. In fact, you can dodge it based on sound cue. Actually, you can hear it go off and dodge, and they can be behind you and shoot at you and miss you. So, definitely learn them. Like the specials that get people killed most often are the Hound and the Trapper, right? Like we all know it. We've all been there. So, he wants to grab this Grimoire. Oh no. We'll see. We'll see about this. I mean, I'm about it. I need more XP. I don't even know what my bounties are on this class. I've been working on setting up some end game stuff for my Ogren, and I am getting there. We have 3 what do they call them? Oh, the legendaries, right? The yellows. We have 3 legendaries and a purple that's about to be consecrated to legendary. So we are getting there on the Ogren, and I will be putting a video up for him as soon as I get him ready for Damnation 5. Keep an eye out for that one. We will finish our series on the Force Staff just because I want to keep everything succinct and together. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're getting close to the end of this mission, but I feel like the thing about this staff is like it is a bit situational. Like, well, you know, there's no point in pulling it out there just to kill one guy, right? So I would say like the biggest thing is maybe like heavily armored targets. It does surprisingly well against, like we covered, and then we got horde, and then hordes. Look at that. I think we got. I hear the music. Oh yeah, here it is. All right, come on. Give me some horde. Stop shooting him. No, the flamer. Dude. This flamer guy's taking all my kills, bro. All right, where's this sniper? Okay, here it is. Oh, that's not the sniper. I'm just gonna overclock. Oh, I didn't overclock because it's almost on my kill. That actually works out. I guess he must have run out of flamer ammo. We're gonna finish this, do this, and then I'll switch off. Alright, switch back. Good. So you can tap this thing to like quickly shock him and like stun him. I don't think that hit him. Oh no. if you guys know something, so this is a question I have. Do your teammates act like the Ogrins actually block your shots? Because like this is something I've been noticing. Is like I feel like my bullets are not going through my teammates, and I can't figure it out. Have you guys experienced this? If so, just let me know in the comments. Because like I'm still trying to figure it out. Like it's not a big deal to me, but I would definitely like to know. Oh, there's no sniper. Oh. Let's see if I can go up there. Maybe climb here. Get this guy. A mauler, huh? Alright. There. Are you not dead? Oh shit. Wow, these boys are tanky. That carapace armor. Holy moly. Alright, we got him. He's dead. So this is like your role as a, like honestly, like we had a veteran churcher, they could be killing those guys too. And he should be, oh he's dead. Never mind. Like your specialty on this class, I feel like, is truly just the heaviest armor targets, like the carapace armor targets, the Reapers, all the things that have a bigger health pool, and especially the Crushers, right? Because those freaking guys don't play around. Why has no one gotten him up? Oh, he just spawned. That's why. I'm stupid. All right, ignore that. Dude, we're just gonna cut that one out. All right, we're gonna cut that one out. Don't think that we're mates, you in? And he's not very happy, is he? Not very happy. Oh, no, I know, and I mentioned this on the last video, but another great thing about the staff builds for Psyker is like, ammo economy is not an issue. No whatsoever. Like and they do a pretty good job all in all balancing in this game. I feel like I don't ever feel like I'm really that screwed because of it. But if you are just one of those people who just want to spray away, go for the Psyker. You know, we're gonna go over the Void Staff. Probably last. We'll save the best for last. And I'm sure a lot of you guys already know about the Void Strike. But yeah, the Void Strike. I don't want to. For those of you who don't know, I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, it's freaking good. That's all I'm gonna say. It's freaking good. I'm gonna wait and then we'll show that one later. Hopefully that upload will be up either tomorrow or the following day.
That's impressive.
But yeah, going back to what I said, like if you guys want to see different classes, like if you guys want to see how an Ogren, because I know I've heard some people say, well, Ogren's gonna be hard to play on high difficulties. Honestly, it's not that bad. In fact, Ogren's very strong. You just have to remember, you're not a front line, you're a support. So you need to be playing as a bodyguard rather than a front line. Your zealots are your front liners, sitting in front of the horns, whacking away. One of the biggest problems for all, I don't want to turn this into an Ogren video, but leaving your team as an Ogren is a very bad idea, put it that way. Because your skills are all about your team, right? You have really good coherency buffs that you can give your team. Everybody does, but the Ogren also has the benefit of being able to take damage while rezzing teammates, right? In fact, their stamina bar blocks damage whilst they are rezzing their teammates. So if you have a full stamina bar as your Ogren, but since you weren't running into the hordes, oh geez, I guess I'm gonna have to kill everything. Oh, I might be dead here. Oh no, I got it. Since your stamina bar actually blocks damage directly, and it shouldn't even touch your toughness. I noticed this when I was playing Ogren. But your stamina bar actually blocks it. So playing on your team, right, get them up as soon as they get down, right? Maybe pop your charge too, like knock any horns down that are around your teammate. Gives you plenty of time to get them up. And then any stray onesie twosies that get by, just gonna bounce right off your hide, right, while you pick them up. So you're very much a support of the Ogren. I think that's the one thing Fat Shark didn't really make clear in this game. And I know I've seen a lot of people using Slap Shield. You don't need to use Slap Shield for high level difficulties on Ogren. The biggest thing is playing around natural cover, right? I equate it to like playing a tank in Overwatch. Like if you're playing Reinhardt in Overwatch, you can't really get away with just being out in the open, right? You're just gonna get murdered, and you can't afford to have your shield the whole time unless you're in bronze, right? So playing around natural cover as Ogren is huge. Actually, like actively dodging and avoiding, and just if you see, let's say you see two Reapers down the way, like okay, get behind a corner and wait for your team to kill them, or you can help if you want. Pull your grenade out, chuck it at their head, right? Like peek out, you'll peek the corner, chuck your grenade out of their head, and back up. But you definitely want to play very defensively on Ogren because you're hitbox. That being said, with the cleavers, you can still obliterate hordes. So, yeah. So that's the staff, guys. What do you think? I would say all in all, I like it. It's solid. It's fun. It's not something I would take into higher level difficulties like Heresy 4 or Damnation 5, but it is certainly serviceable, and you certainly could if you really like it and you really want to do it, and you just like being Emperor Palpatine and just shocking the enemies. You can definitely do it. You know, there's nothing really stopping you there. Anyways, once again, guys, if you enjoyed the video, like the video, don't forget to comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.